Welcome back. You're still watching Politics Tonight, digging beyond the headlines. And now to our interview with the first guest of the day. I am joined by the Deputy National Secretary and acting National Youth Leader of the Labour Party, Kennedy Ahanotu, for discussion on the raging crisis within the party. Thank you very much for joining us this evening.
Thank you, my dear sister. Good evening. Good to be with you this evening.
All right. So I'm sure you are not surprised that a lot of Nigerians are quite worried that the political bride that posited itself as different from others is engulfed in post-election crisis of this nature. Tell us, what is responsible for this?
Well, I feel that, like you said, the Labour Party has actually become a beautiful bride in your own language. And I feel that the performance of Labour Party in 2023 general election really beat the surprise of many people who believe that we are just four persons tweeting in a room. So the result of our acting in 2023 general election have made the Labour Party to be receiving so many attacks from every angle. Of course, nobody gave us chances of having to produce the number of legislators, and having to even stand to tell Nigerians that we won the presidential election, and of course we are in court to prove that. And also having a governor within just 7 to 8 months. So I think that is what have brought a lot of external altercations on the Labour Party. And what actually happened that many of us are seen as crisis is just that a few individuals felt that they can hijack the party and they distribute positions to themselves. And I think we resisted that, and that has been put to where it belongs. Labour Party is one. We don't have any crisis anymore. Those of them that undertook on that mission have equally been disciplined as are today. That is my background on what I can tell you to that effect.
All right, so what about the accusations that have been leveled against Julius Aburi? Are you saying they are not substantial enough?
Well, allegations leveled against Julius Aburi have not been proven, and no court have indicted Julius Aburi. Just like I've also been accused of planning an attack on my friend, the former personal assistant to Barrister Julius Aburi, who came to your studio and said that I was mandated to attack him, you know. Those are accusations, unsubstantiated accusations that have not been proven. So we in the party still wait for anybody to prove the criminal allegations against Julius Aburi or the financial misappropriation against Julius Aburi. We in the party are still waiting for those people that accuse him to prove it beyond all reasonable doubt. That is when the party will begin to take action to that effect. For now, there is no judgment against Barrister Julius Aburi. He remains the national chairman. Of course, he has done well for himself and for the party and for the entire obedient Nigerian youth. Thank you.
All right. You say Labour Party is one and there is no crisis within the party, but I'm sure you know that is not what Nigerians are seeing. The Labour Party crisis culminated in the show of shame at the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal, where Lamidi Apapa was harassed. Do you think he deserved such treatment?
Well, you know, one thing with the presidential election is that it's not an election that you tell like Tales of the Moonlight. This is an election that Nigerian youth participated fully. They wanted to get involved in governance, and they started by going to get their PVCs, which they did. After that, they came out and voted massively. And what you saw in the court, I can tell you that nobody influenced that, nobody stimulated that. Nigerian youths and Nigerians are not happy. They are not happy with the denial that His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi is experiencing by not being declared as the winner of the 2023 presidential election. Of course, we are waiting on the judiciary. So for somebody to appear in the court from nowhere to say that he wants to withdraw or represent the party without even being in party secretariat. The man that came to the tribunal to withdraw the case has never been in party secretariat for the past 2 months. And this is somebody that said that he's working for Labour Party. So leadership of the political party cannot be argued on the floor of the tribunal. And I'm happy with what the court did that day. The court, stepped down Labour Party representation. And the second time, they appeared. They came with a lawyer. And you also saw what the judge did to the lawyer. He asked the lawyer to either walk out or to sit down and observe. That is to tell you the extent people can go in order to damage other people's effort. And yesterday, on Friday, he wasn't there. Today, again, he wasn't there. That is to tell you that they've already started experiencing some level of failure in their dream of hijacking Labour Party. So the man that came to the court was not supposed to be in court. He was just influenced. He was moved to come there. And Nigerian youths, which you know are not happy with the outcome of the election, they are following. They're always in the court, observing what the judiciary will do. So when this man came to the court and they did what they did, Nigerian youths responded to him and reacted to him. It's not anybody's fault. Nigerians are watching us. And it's time we do things with this consciousness that we cannot succeed, that we cannot just do anything we want to do in the country and go scot-free with it. It's high time we begin to, put checks on ourselves. That is what Nigerian youths have started doing. We are putting checks on our leaders. We are putting checks on anybody. And with or without me, anything could have happened. And that was exactly what happened. Nigerian youths said, no, why were you here? You can't come here to argue about this leadership crisis we are arguing. You can't hijack the party in the court. Go back to the secretariat. And that was what they were not even beaten. They just denied them from speaking to the press because he wanted to use the press to pass wrong information. And from the video I watched online, they were just stopped from speaking to the press.
All right, so Mr. Kennedy, as a result of what you just said, you keep talking about Nigerian youths. I'm going to ask you, are Nigerian youths the ones controlling your party? And second, you said there is no crisis. In the same breath, you're saying some members of your party are trying to hijack the party. But does this justify the way a high-ranking member of your party was treated in the courts?
Can you take that again?
I asked you 3 questions in one, and it's as a result of your submission. You kept talking about Nigerian youths, why Nigerian youths are not happy and all of that. And so I asked you, are Nigerian youths the ones controlling your party? 1. 2, you say there is no crisis in your party, and in the same breath, you're saying some members of your party are trying to hijack the party. And also I asked you, all of this you have said, do they justify the way a high-ranking member of your party was being treated in the court?
Well, thank you so much for the question. Number 1, Nigerian youths participated in 2023 general election. Many of them are not even Labour Party members. Majority of them are called obedient. Most of them are not card-carrying members of Labour Party. So when I mention Nigerian youth, I refer to the larger Nigerians who supported the Labour Party, who expected His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi to be declared as their president in 2023 general election. And since that didn't happen, they are following up on the judiciary. So they come to the judiciary, they come to the tribunal to follow up and observe the proceedings. And that was why they were not happy. Of course, you could see it everywhere that people were not happy with the way Apapa stood up in the court to say that he's representing the party, when there is an orderliness. And the same Apapa has been suspended. So when you say he's a high-ranking officer of the party, he used to be the deputy national chairman of the party, but as at that day he came to that court, he was no longer a national officer of the party by virtue of his suspension during the NEC meeting in Asaba. So he's coming there to say he's a member of the Labour Party, he's the acting national chairman of the Labour Party. That, maybe I feel that was what, aroused the emotion of many Nigerians. Not just the youth. If you look at the video which I'm watching now, it's not only youth, there are elderly people there that stop them from perpetuating the propaganda they always like perpetuating. And again, yes, when I say there is no crisis, as far as I know, today the party is one. We had the NWC meeting some few days ago, and the party is moving on. So the party, there is no crisis. Our national chairman is Barrister Julius Aburi. The national secretary is Omar Farouk Alleges. So the party is working. I'm just telling Nigerians to ignore the little drama that were perpetuated by some disgruntled members, former members of the party.
All right, so juxtaposing, looking at all of these issues and juxtaposing it with all of the, the issues with the Federal High Court's nullification of Ahanotu's candidacy, including other Labour Party candidates, would it be fair to say perhaps this where the loopholes and discrepancies the Lamidi Apapa faction was trying to avoid?
Well, my sister, I am happy you asked this question. Number one, there is no judgment against our governor, Ahanotu. Even the judge himself, if you are following up, the judge have, dismissed such insinuation. But that is also to tell you that those people you are referring as are trying to manage crisis in the party, they are celebrating such judgment. They are celebrating that our governor has to go because of their personal interest. But I'm sorry, the Nigerian judiciary cannot be bought. They tried to influence a lot of things. They went around across the country trying to withdraw the cases of people that won an election under Labour Party. What does that mean? What does that tell you? That they are dancing some music being played from the background by some certain people or some certain high-placed individuals. But right. Ahanotu will be sworn in on 29th, I can assure you.
All right. Now, many Labour Party members believe that Apapa and others were paid to destabilize the Labour Party. Why is this so?
Well, I feel so because, of course, if you watch the play of events, it shows that they were paid. Like, for example, Apapa and many of them in that group that I know, when they visit Abuja, most of them sleep in party offices. They sleep in our party national secretariat. And today, my sister, these guys sleep in one of the best apartments in Abuja. Today, in fact, the former PA to national chairman, PA on media and publicity, Arabambi, sent me videos of where they are flying private jets. This is somebody that I've worked with. These are people that I know. They are not flying private jets. You and I know the cost of private jets. And if they say nobody is sponsoring them, can they give us an account of how they purchased those private jets to fly them to Bauchi and come back? Can they give us an account of how they are paying the hotel bills in Abuja? Can they give us an account of how they got the powerful SUV, one of the most recent SUV vehicles that is now carrying Apapa around? In as much as I'm not wishing them ill or not being wealthy, but within 1-2 months, for somebody that I know, they are antecedent, I know what they are doing, I know where they sleep when they come to Abuja, to now start flying private jets, sleeping in the best apartments in Abuja, and using the best vehicles, parading security personnel, it should tell you a lot of things, my dear sister.
But, Mr. Kennedy, why do you think you need to know all of this? And at the same time, while you answer that, many analysts say the party's presidential candidate, Peter Obi, should have intervened to resolve the crisis. Why has he not brought the warring parties together?
Well, respect, they said, is reciprocal. When any member of the party shows recognition and respect to the leader of the party, the leader of the party will have no reason not to reciprocate. When this issue started, when the little fracas that happened in the parties happened, did Apapa reach to the leader of the party? He didn't reach him. And when people say Peter Obi have not spoken, Peter Obi have spoken a lot of times. In the NEC meeting we had in Asaba, you saw Peter Obi there. His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi was there, live and direct. You saw all the elected members of the party. there, live and direct. You saw all the party chairmen and secretary across the 36 states of the nation and the FCT, live and direct. And you saw all the National Working Committee members, live and direct. The CTC of the NEC meeting is out from INEC. INEC was there, and they participated in that NEC meeting. So Peter Obi said in that NEC meeting that as far as he knows, there is no problem in the party, and there is one national chairman that he knows, which is Julius Aburi. If you recall, there was an interview, live broadcast with His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi on Arise TV, where he mentioned that even the Apapa, he doesn't know him as the acting national chairman of the party. That should tell you that the Apapa missed, even though he's an elderly man, he didn't follow the right channel to do what he was asked to do. And that was why I don't expect His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi to always say, to always talk every day. You know, we have other presidential candidates. How many times do they talk? Is it because His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi is accepted by the public and he's always living very close to the public? He's always talking to the public at every slight opportunity. That is why I want him to be speaking to people that have sold their mind out. I will not support that.
All right. Now, back to you. A chieftain of your party, Abayomi Arabambi, alleged that you planned to assassinate him. How will you react to this serious allegation, Mr. Kennedy?
Well, my party have made a press conference. I've also asked Arabambi to come to the public, and I have in my phone all the conversations I had with Arabambi, and I'm willing to submit this phone for the DSS to go through it and see if there is any such text message referring to His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi sending me to attack anybody. There was no such message. Arabambi has been noted to be a serial blackmailer, and I challenge him to come to DSS. Of course, I'm sure the DSS will soon invite us to come and show our phones for Nigerians to know that Arabambi is a liar. Let people check our phones and see if there's any text message that I sent to Arabambi referring to threat to his life. You know, Arabambi kept sending me videos of the activities. He sent me some messages that Abure must go, and I responded to him accordingly, that Apapa can never be the national chairman of the party. This is just one of the statements that I exchanged with him. And I want him to come public and let's show. I've done screenshots of all my messages with him. He's the one always sending me messages and sending me videos of where they are in private jets, where they are doing their activities. He's the one always sending me all manner of petitions against Abure. And if I did what he said, let him come public, let him invite me in DSS, let two of us go there and defend ourselves. It's so simple. We have the Directorate of State Security, we have the Nigerian Police, we have the investigators. Let them investigate our phone and see if I did that. I didn't do that. It is not my character. I am from a royal family somewhere in Imo State.
All right, let's quickly move on. Now, the Labour Party came third in the presidential election and is now at the tribunal. How confident are you that the judiciary will give you victory?
Well, that statement that Labour Party came third, I would have preferred if you say that INEC gave Labour Party third position in that election. And that is why we are challenging the result of that election. The process of that election, we are not too comfortable with it as a political party. Of course, this matter is in court. I wouldn't want to say much about it. We believe in Nigeria judiciary, and we believe that this time, Nigerian judiciary must stand up to save our democracy. Because if INEC were empowered by virtue of 2022 Electoral Act to use electronic method in the voting, and INEC ended up not using that process, I think it's something that we need to question if Nigeria have to succeed in democracy. We have to, you know, when a constitution is faulted, I think there's problem. So we have to follow Nigerian constitution to the letter. And that is why the Labour Party have peacefully, even the Mahmoud of a man told us to go to court, that if we are not happy with the result he declared, we should go to court. I wonder why this court is now generating a lot of issues around the country. People are now fighting the party, raising even pre-election matters, even after election, you know, just because they want to fight the party. We have been asked to go to court. We are in court, and we have strong faith that justice must prevail at the end of the tunnel.
Sadly, we have to round off this session. Thank you very much, Mr. Kennedy Ahanotu, for joining us tonight. I've been speaking with the Deputy National Secretary and acting National Youth Leader of the Labour Party as we take a look at the raging crisis within the Labour Party. Thank you very much for finding time to join us this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you.